transportation is closely intertwined with equity. In a region like the Upper Skeena, where our project takes place, it means that transportation can prevent people from getting to work or visiting family, that public transit does not reach all communities, and that getting around is not always safe. Transportation is an issue that many community members think about every day. Since September, we have been working on developing a feasible, creative, and community-backed transportation strategy for the Upper Skeena. The focus is improving access to employment, services, community and cultural events, and a new community recreation center. Transportation is especially challenging for youth, elders, people with mobility challenges, and people without access to personal vehicles. These community members have been central voices in our engagement. This is the final year of a 3-year partnership with Peter Newberry and Sandra Harris of the Upper Skeena Recreation Center Owners Partnership Committee. I'm Erin, and along with Sarah Christie and our wonderful teammates Lily and Annalise, we've been fortunate to build on the work of the past 2 years.
The area that we have been working in is geographically vast with a highly dispersed population. There are 7,600 people live across 13 communities, including Gitxsan and Wet'suwet'en villages, as well as the Hazeltons. The geographic context presents many challenges for getting around. Buses are infrequent and not often aligned with community events. Adding to the struggle of using public transportation in Upper Skeena, bus routes and schedules are hard to find and not always reliable. The bus stops themselves are often hard to access for those with mobility issues, especially in the winter when stops along the main roads are not clear. On top of this, bus fares or paying for carpooling can be prohibitively expensive, leading to more hitchhiking and walking along the long, unlit, and winding Highway 16. This highway is also known as the Highway of Tears, as many people, particularly Indigenous women and girls, have gone missing or been murdered along this road.
So to move forward, we need to understand what transportation is like now. We heard that there are a number of services that do exist: 4 BC transit routes, health and medical shuttles, and buses owned by individual bands. But community members told us that what is missing is coordination, and services that fill current gaps without duplicating what is already there. These 2 areas form the basis of our vision for a new strategy. During our last visit, community members indicated that no single type of service in isolation will serve everyone's needs. Instead, like many other rural and remote communities have done, we propose a combined system that builds on existing services to provide additional flexible transportation to events or errands that are not currently accessible. A coordinator would provide a central number to call for booking and scheduling. They would work with communities to better align new and existing services and to create consistent schedules and payment. To show how these could work together, we will use a story to share an experience that is familiar to many community members. Wilson is an elder with limited mobility living in Gitxsan. He needs to go to Hazelton to get groceries, which is 33 kilometers down the highway. He sees that the next BC Transit bus does not come for 5 hours, and there is no return trip today. His current options are to see if he can pay his neighbor to give him a ride, which can be expensive, or to begin walking along the highway, as he often does, and hope someone sees him and picks him up.
The new system provides 2 improvements for Wilson. First, there's now a coordinator that he can pick up the phone and call to review all existing options. Secondly, there are several new services to choose from. So when he makes that call to the coordinator, she first checks to see if there are any fixed route services stopping in Gitxsan. She also looks into the list of event-based shuttles running that day. Since neither of these options meets Wilson's needs, she checks the list of volunteer drivers. Luckily, a resident of Gitwangak has offered to pick up anyone on his regular trips to Hazelton and back. Since subsidies exist for those who drive seniors or those requiring medical appointments, there is no need to pay for gas out of pocket. Wilson can now easily and safely get to the grocery store without financial stress. Coordination and new services are 2 components of our broader transportation vision, which also includes goals relating to scheduling, payment, and governance. We have detailed recommendations for each of these areas in our report. We have heard so much excitement from community members wanting a transportation system that better meets their needs. And we've heard community leaders expressing that they have an interest in working together with a coordinator to ensure that these needs can be met. When we return to the Upper Skeena in about a week, we will share our final work with communities for feedback. From there, they will begin the process of implementation and will identify how to best use the seed funding they have in order to make the vision of a more equitable transportation system a reality.